Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Smart English Speaking, the podcast where you listen, learn, and level up your English one conversation at a time. I'm Emily.
And I'm Leo. Thanks for joining us today, wherever you are in the world. Maybe you're walking, maybe you're making coffee, maybe you're lying in bed and you should really be sleeping right now.
Honestly, same. But guess what? Today's topic is a big one. It's a question that people have been asking for hundreds, maybe thousands of years.
Ooh, sounds serious. Tell us, Emily.
Okay, here it is. Is money really enough to make you happy?
Ah, the classic question. My grandmother used to say, money can't buy happiness, but it can buy a very comfortable sofa to be unhappy on.
That is amazing. Okay, so today we're going to talk about money, happiness, dreams, and real life. And along the way, we'll teach you some really useful English words and expressions, things you can use in daily conversations, job interviews, and even small talk with friends.
Yes, and remember, this podcast is designed for intermediate learners, A2 to B1 level. So we'll speak clearly, we'll repeat important words, and if a word is difficult, don't worry, we'll explain it in simple English.
Exactly. You don't need to understand every single word. Just relax, listen, and enjoy the conversation. Your brain is already learning, even if you don't notice it.
That's real talk. Okay, let's get started.
So, Leo, let me ask you first. If someone gave you $1 million right now, would you be happy?
Of course. Are you joking? I would be extremely happy. I would probably scream.
Okay, but here's the real question. Would you stay happy? Like 6 months later, 1 year later, would that money still make you feel good?
That's a good point. At first, yes, I think I would be excited. I could pay off my debts, buy a nice apartment, maybe travel.
Right, and that's totally normal. Psychologists actually have a name for this. It's called the hedonic treadmill.
Ooh, new vocabulary. Let's stop right there. Emily, can you explain that term simply?
Sure. So, hedonic relates to pleasure or enjoyment, and a treadmill is that machine you use at the gym. You walk or run, but you don't actually move forward. You stay in the same place.
Ah, I get it. So the hedonic treadmill means...
It means that no matter how much pleasure or money we get, we quickly get used to it. We adapt, and then we want more to feel the same happiness again.
Wow, that's actually a little scary if you think about it.
It is. Like, imagine you buy a new phone. For the first week, you're so excited. You show everyone, you take 100 photos just to test the camera.
Guilty, I've done that.
But after a month, you barely notice it anymore. It's just a phone.
True. That happened with my new headphones, too. I was so excited. Now they're just sitting on my desk and I don't even think about them.
Exactly. That's the hedonic treadmill in action.
Okay, let's pause here for a quick vocabulary break. We'll say each word slowly, explain the meaning, and use it in a sentence. Repeat after us if you want extra pronunciation practice.
First word, debt. D-E-B-T. Notice the B is silent. We don't say debt. We say debt.
Debt means money that you owe to someone, usually a bank or a person. Example, I paid off all my debt last year, so now I feel free.
Great example. Next word, afford. This means having enough money to buy something. Example, I really want a new car, but I can't afford it right now.
Nice. Next, adapt. This means to change your behavior to fit a new situation. Example, when I moved to a new country, I had to adapt to a different lifestyle.
Perfect. And last one for this segment, fulfilling. This describes something that makes you feel satisfied and happy, especially in a deep, meaningful way. Example, teaching English online is really fulfilling for me. I love helping students grow.
Great words. Keep them in your notebook if you're taking notes. We'll use these words again later in the conversation.
Okay, let's continue. Leo, I want to tell you a story. Do you know the story of lottery winners?
A little bit. I heard that many people who win the lottery actually become unhappy later. Is that true?
Yes, it's true for a surprising number of people. There's actually research on this. Some lottery winners say their lives got worse after winning, not better.
Wait, worse? How is that possible? I mean, more money should equal more happiness, right?
You'd think so, but here's what often happens. Family and friends start asking for money. Relationships become complicated. Some people quit their jobs, then feel bored and lost because they don't have a daily purpose anymore.
Whoa, that's deep. So the money didn't solve their problems, it just gave them new problems.
Exactly. Sudden wealth can bring stress, family conflict, and even a loss of identity. Some people literally don't know who they are anymore without their daily work routine.
That's such an important lesson. It's not just about having money, it's about how you manage it and what you do with your life.
Yes, and this brings us to something really important, the difference between wealth and happiness.
Ooh, another good vocabulary point. Let's break it down.
Wealth means having a large amount of money or valuable possessions. Example, he built his wealth by starting a small business 20 years ago.
And happiness is a feeling of joy, satisfaction, and peace inside. Example, true happiness doesn't always come from material things.
Right. So wealth is something you can measure. You can count it in your bank account. But happiness, you can't put a number on it.
That's such a powerful idea. Okay, I have a question for you, Emily. Do you think poor people can be happy?
Absolutely, yes. There are many studies showing that people in developing countries, even with very little money, often report high levels of happiness. Why? Because they usually have strong communities, close family relationships, and simple daily joys.
So it's not just about how much money you have, it's about relationships, connection, and meaning.
Exactly. Multiple studies support this. Money can absolutely help, don't get me wrong, but it's not the only ingredient in the happiness recipe.
I love that phrase, the happiness recipe. That's a great way to think about it.
Let's slow down again for some new words.
First word, community. This means a group of people who live in the same area or share something in common, like values or interests. Example, my grandmother has lived in the same community for 50 years and everyone knows each other.
Next, connection. This means a relationship or bond between people. Example, even though we live far apart, we still have a strong connection.
Next, ingredient. Normally, this word is used for cooking, the things you put into a recipe, but we can also use it metaphorically, meaning a part of something important. Example, trust is an important ingredient in any successful relationship.
And finally, material things. This phrase means physical objects that you can buy or own, like cars, clothes, phones, or houses. Example, she doesn't care about material things. She prefers to spend money on travel and experiences.
Excellent. These are all very natural, useful phrases for everyday English conversations.
Okay, Leo, let's get a little scientific for a moment. There's actually a famous idea in psychology about money and happiness. Have you heard of it?
I think so. Is it about a specific salary number?
Yes, exactly. Some researchers found that happiness increases with income, but only up to a certain point. After that point, more money doesn't make a big difference in daily emotional happiness.
Interesting. So there's like a happiness ceiling?
In a way, yes. Of course, this depends on the country, the cost of living, and personal circumstances, but the general idea is powerful. Money helps you escape stress, worry, and hardship. It helps you pay your bills, afford healthcare, and feel secure.
Right, because if you're constantly worried about paying rent or buying food, that's a huge source of stress.
Exactly. But once your basic needs are covered, once you're not struggling anymore, extra money brings smaller and smaller amounts of additional happiness.
That makes so much sense. It's like the first slice of pizza when you're really hungry tastes amazing, but the fifth slice, not as exciting.
Leo, that might be the best example I've ever heard for economics.
Thank you, thank you. I do my best.
But seriously, that's a great way to understand it. Economists actually call this idea diminishing returns.
Ooh, let's break that down too.
Diminishing means becoming smaller or less over time.
And returns here means the benefit or reward you get from something.
So diminishing returns means the more you have of something, the less additional benefit you get from having even more of it. Example, after the third cup of coffee, I noticed diminishing returns. I wasn't more awake, just more nervous.
Honestly, relatable. Okay, next word, hardship. This means difficulty or suffering, especially related to money or living conditions. Example, many families experienced financial hardship during difficult economic times.
And secure. This means feeling safe, stable, and free from danger or worry. Example, having savings in the bank makes me feel financially secure.
Great additions to your vocabulary list. Keep practicing these in your own sentences. That's the best way to remember them.
Okay, Leo, let's make this personal for a moment. In your own life, what brings you more happiness? Money or relationships?
Honestly, relationships, 100%. I remember last year I didn't have much money, but I traveled with my two best friends to the mountains. We stayed in a cheap little cabin, we cooked simple food, and we laughed for hours every single night.
That sounds wonderful.
It was one of the happiest weeks of my entire life. And honestly, we spent almost no money.
That's beautiful. I have a similar memory. A few years ago, my family didn't have a lot of extra money, but every Sunday we would have a big family dinner together. No phones, no distractions, just conversation, food, and laughter.
Those simple moments really do matter the most, don't they?
They really do. And I think that's the heart of today's topic. Money gives us comfort, safety, and opportunities, and that's genuinely important. We shouldn't pretend money doesn't matter.
Right, because struggling financially is genuinely hard and stressful.
Exactly. But real, lasting happiness usually comes from a mix of things: good relationships, personal growth, meaningful work, health, and yes, enough money to live comfortably.
I love that word, comfortably. Not extremely rich, just comfortable.
Exactly. There's a difference between wanting more and needing more. A lot of unhappiness comes from constantly comparing ourselves to others and always wanting more, more, more.
Oh, that's such a common problem nowadays, especially with social media. We see other people's vacations, cars, and clothes, and we start feeling like our own life isn't good enough.
Exactly. That's called social comparison, and it's a huge factor in modern unhappiness.
New words. First, comparison. This means looking at two or more things to see their differences. Example, try to avoid comparison with others. Focus on your own journey.
Next, distraction. This means something that takes your attention away from what's important. Example, my phone is a huge distraction when I'm trying to study.
And genuinely. This means truly, sincerely, really. Example, I'm genuinely happy for my friend's success.
Perfect. And finally, lasting. This describes something that continues for a long time. Example, true friendship creates a lasting bond between people. So, Leo, let's try to answer today's big question together. Is money enough to make you happy?
I think the honest answer is money is necessary but not sufficient.
Ooh, nice vocabulary use. Let's explain that for our listeners. Necessary means something you need. It's required.
And sufficient means enough. It fully satisfies a need.
So when Leo says money is necessary but not sufficient, he means
We definitely need money to survive and live comfortably, but money alone can't complete the full picture of happiness. We also need relationships, purpose, health, and personal growth.
I completely agree. I think the healthiest way to think about money is like this. Money is a tool, not a goal.
Oh, I really like that. Can you explain more?
Sure, a tool helps you build something, like a hammer helps you build a house. But the hammer itself isn't the goal. The house is the goal. In the same way, money helps you build a good life, but money itself shouldn't be the final goal.
That's such a powerful way to think about it. So instead of asking, how can I get more money, maybe we should ask,
What kind of life do I actually want to build?
exactly, and then figure out how much money you truly need to support that life.
Beautifully said, Leo.
Okay, before we wrap up, let's answer a question from one of our listeners. This message came from a listener named Daniel from Brazil.
Great. What did Daniel ask?
Daniel wrote, "Hi, Emily and Leo. I love your podcast. My question is, do you think it's wrong to want to be rich? Sometimes I feel guilty for wanting more money."
Oh, that's such a great and honest question. Thank you, Daniel.
Yeah, I don't think it's wrong at all. Wanting financial success is completely normal and healthy.
I agree completely. There's nothing wrong with wanting comfort, security, or even luxury. The key is why you want it and how you pursue it.
Right. If money helps you support your family, travel, learn new things, or help others, that's a beautiful goal.
Exactly. The problem only comes when we believe money will magically solve every problem in our lives, including our emotional ones.
So, Daniel, don't feel guilty. Dream big, work hard, and just remember to build the other parts of your life too: relationships, health, and personal growth.
Beautifully said. Thank you again for your question, Daniel. And thank you to everyone who sends us questions. We love reading them. Quick words from this segment. First, guilty. This means feeling bad because you think you did something wrong. Example, I feel guilty when I spend money on things I don't need.
Next, pursue. This means to follow or work toward a goal. Example, she decided to pursue a career in medicine.
And finally, luxury. This means something expensive and not necessary, but very enjoyable and comfortable. Example, a vacation to Europe felt like such a luxury after years of hard work.
Okay, everyone, now it's your turn to practice speaking. Pause the podcast for a moment and try to answer these questions out loud, in English, even if your English isn't perfect.
Remember, practice makes progress, not perfection.
Question 1. Do you think money can buy happiness? Why or why not?
Question 2. What is one simple thing in your life that makes you happy but doesn't cost much money?
And question 3. If you had enough money for the rest of your life, what would you do with your time?
Take a moment, think in English, and try to speak your answer out loud. Even simple sentences are great practice.
You could say something like, I think money can help happiness, but it's not everything. Or, for me, spending time with my family makes me happy, and it doesn't cost money.
Perfect examples, Leo. See, everyone, you don't need complicated grammar to express your ideas clearly. All right, Leo, let's wrap up today's episode with a summary of the key points we discussed.
Sounds good. So first, we talked about the hedonic treadmill, the idea that we quickly adopt to new pleasures, so we always want more.
Second, we discussed real stories like lottery winners and how sudden wealth doesn't automatically bring happiness.
Third, we explored the science behind money and happiness, including the idea of diminishing returns, where extra money brings smaller and smaller boosts to our happiness once our basic needs are met.
Fourth, we shared personal stories about simple, meaningful moments that brought real joy without spending much money.
And finally, we agreed that money is necessary but not sufficient. It's a tool to help build a good life, not the final goal itself.
Beautifully summarized, Leo.
Thanks. And remember, everyone, we also learned some fantastic new vocabulary today. Debt, afford, adapt, fulfilling, wealth, community, connection, diminishing, hardship, secure, comparison, distraction, genuinely, lasting, guilty, pursue, and luxury.
That's 17 new words and expressions. If you write just 3 example sentences using each new word this week, your vocabulary will grow so much faster.
Such a great tip. Practice truly is the secret to fluency.
Thank you so much for listening to today's episode of Smart English Speaking. We hope this conversation gave you both a language boost and something meaningful to think about.
If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a friend who's also learning English.
And don't forget to comment below. We'd love to know, do you think money is enough to make you happy? Tell us in English.
Until next time, keep listening, keep speaking, and keep believing in yourself.
This is Emily,
And Leo,
signing off from Smart English Speaking. See you next time.